just reflecting upon just a experience that someone in our bio had yesterday. It's the book monk, and received a email requesting, 10 to 15 books from an individual, and then just wrote back, can you please, we just have a policy of maximum of 6 books that we send out. Maybe when you're done with the 6, we can send you more. So he received a 2-word reply, which was pretty extreme profanity. I won't repeat. And then just looked up the person, and it turns out what it appears to be is a professor of Buddhism. And and then this morning, I just received an email from Ajahn Dhamma, who sent a request for some contact with us and having monks. This is from DRB, a professor at Dharma Buddhist University, asking for some books and asking for some monks to come down and talk, and asking for a visit to the monastery and any kind of collaboration we can offer, and a lot of joy, and wanting her students to come close and be associated with the monastery and the monks here. And it's a different attitude, different way of approach. And admittedly, it's a rough world out there, and academia is not easy. But I was also relating to the fact of how people can be so exposed to the Buddhist teachings, like be even possibly a professor of Buddhism, but it just might not sink in. It's just a subject for study, and how far does the understanding go? And we don't have any idea. We don't know this person at all who had such a negative reaction, but surely we can think of our own training here, whether lay or monastic, doesn't matter. That would be something far from our experience to say to another individual. And so I think it's important to really have a sense of how we're really taking in the teachings and using them in our lives. And the proof is in the pudding. It's like, how do we behave? How are we acting? What are our mental states? And I think that most of us here, and anyone who's earnestly really applying themselves, there can be a genuine feeling that this is, there's good that is being done. There's kindness in our own minds. There's a sense of wanting to be helpful and respectful of others. And even though that isn't always there, or it isn't always to the level we might want, this is the level of our understanding. This is the level that we're taking in from really understanding what the Buddha is teaching, and that earnestness, that earnestness in terms of really applying ourselves is something to be celebrated. And it's a good pat on our own shoulders in terms of like what we're doing and what we're trying to do and what we're trying to take in. And it's not just a sort of subject for us to prove some sort of theory or that we're superior to others in terms of our own knowledge. It's really for our own benefit, for our own release from suffering. And the Buddha did not teach for just trying to prove something that he meant through an academic approach. It's for our own understanding and penetration, so we can really be realized and be free from suffering. And it's just important to not forget that, in terms of even if we do apply ourselves to study and trying to understand his teachings, that it has an extremely practical approach for us to be free and liberated.